PR1. I mean, I can do this. Select you. I don't know. But let's just leave it as it is. I mess up. There you go. So today we are going to do this animation that 2 days ago I said that it was going to be the end of this animation. But actually, this that is not the end of that animation. It's just the beginning now. Just kidding. It's almost the end, but it's not the end. End. I feel that I need to work a little bit more on this. I mean, I probably can finish this. Can we finish this? I don't know. But if you look at this, like we're only missing 4 drawings to connect. Right? We need to connect from the here to here. So we're gonna see if like in 2 hours we can connect all of these images. Now that I am seeing, I forgot something outside, but whatever. Let me open my animation here, reference, and I'm going to just fast forward because 207 I need to be. Yep, that one. And I don't have more of this. These are the ones just so humongous at this point. I don't know how much. Like, this is the biggest that I have done so far. The only thing that I can say. Because being so dynamic, I needed to do a lot of frames compared to the others. Like, there are parts that I could skip some frames, but most of the time I need to be on ones, then in on twos. Just look how big is this. So we're gonna need 7. Then we can go to 10. So for this and this, I need only two frames, which is something that I am happy with. And this just this way here. Have the way to do this. Let me just see one more. Happens. Back. I'm gonna need something to store this, like not to store them, but like to keep them separated while they are stored. That's what I mean. You know, when I say that I was going to be back on Twitch, and then I was like, forget it, I am not going back. That was fun. But by the way, I find a way that, you know how I say that actually in the end, you are just interpreting stuff. Everything happens as much as you want, right? As much as you want. Well, it turns out that it is actually the truth of it. So I was like, hey, what if I just go simple to universe and it's just like, hey, this is a good idea, and in the end, you are the one interpreting it. So it was a good idea to just do what I said. And looking at it, it's basically like the same. It's just like I think they end up having the same actually that I was before doing that. I don't know, probably no. I don't know. I don't know why I still putting this. We need this and this, so you're at least this mod. So now, how do I do this? Okay, so we don't see. I'm gonna zoom in into this because I can. Is that the head? I think that that's the head. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my references always. So there is the torso. These are the legs. The legs and the arm around here. So the head should can't be here actually. Yeah, this can be the head. Only I need to increase the curvature down here, and that could be easily the head. So now we have our arm here. Actually, it should be more up here or down here. I don't know how do you say it, or what is the best way to phrase it. So let's just start erasing this guidance a little bit. And do you still see? I am just too way over there. Thing that I said before, I don't know when I said like I need a better setup for this. I definitely need. So these are the the chicks, Spiderman chicks. This one goes over here. Of course, that we have this one going here. And this one going here. This one goes here and here. Like this. What was that? I don't know. Like this, and this goes here. And let's see how do we manage to do them. It's a weird pose that the game uses there, especially because you consider that I mean, they have a little of stretches, but they go not extreme stretches. The Spider-Man's movie go, like there are stretches that I see, but not a lot of stretch. Like it's not extreme stretch, that's what I mean. Okay, so this goes like this. We can have this like this. Probably it would be smart to. No, it wouldn't be that side. I was like, probably it's good to have some smearing here because that is a weird frame. Or this is a weird pose. But this is the head, so the smearing should be here. Hmm. I have those three. Because like this, like if you see this other frame, okay, let me just add the little of the spider on the back. Something like that, just visible. So because if we see this here to here, it's just starting to deploy, for going into this position. So, I don't know. So this is 207, and I'm going too far. 307, and we can hold this for 3. They are flip. Okay, like this. Which ones are flip? The first ones look okay. Okay, it's this last ones. The match that I had from yesterday. You know, I wonder why this took me a long time to do. Which also leads to the idea that can I finish this for end of the year? I don't think so, honestly. But I don't know exactly. Like there are some animations that are like long like this. This is probably like the fourth longest animation. There are other two that I know that are long, especially because there are sequence of animations. So if I break them into parts, that's not going to be that hard. But I don't know. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. Right? I wanna have that section A, section B by shots, so I can even uh, redo some shots and utilize them. But I don't know. And then we go from this one to this one, which is basically the same as this one. But I don't want to hold it by 5, so we're gonna have the same as this one. So we're gonna have this one here. Spider-Man face goes this way. Then we have the back here. Then we can use this back over here. This is again. I mean, I'm used to be there, so, but I know the camera is better here. This is 110, and it's going to be held by 2. So this is how you notice that sometimes you do this quickly. And I was thinking last night about if I do again this sort of animation, I am definitely gonna do it. Like I am enjoying it. Like there is something I don't know how to explain, but there is something about working this way that that is different for working 3D. And I mean, most of the people don't not are not going to understand this because people is based on reward, instant rewards, right? So I also get that why, you know, especially for what had happened. But I clearly, and this is the proof. Why am I doing this right now? Is the proof because I can tell you, I had more. Like if I won, probably there were more possibilities. Let's keep it that way. Of Twitch being a better option for me to stream this process, right? But I was like I think that probably this time they have it, but I don't know. For me, it was this option of which it makes sense, like the idea of we give you better options if for streaming if you are going to use them. Like I understand that side, but it's also like at least for me it's more like discouraging than not having nobody watching you. Like the fact that I wasn't like there was also stuff that they didn't exist on Twitch when I was doing it. And I was like realizing that that's something that I would use more. Like for example, like I think that I did Courage the Dog in Twitch, like the ARG game. Mm, something that I wanna was no, you are all the way up. It was to rewind to see some stuff. Like also the DLC, I was like, hey, can I rewind to see what happened? And being unable to do that was one of the reasons of why I am here right now. More than mm, more than anything else, right? So like it's more that than the public. Also, like for me, it was like Twitch is going to come people that only watches one thing, and I think that it was more like sad, to have someone watch you because you were playing the game that they like, but they didn't appear. And it's also like I don't use Twitch a lot, so let's do something that I know that at least if I saw like someone streaming on YouTube, like I probably watch it later, right? So this is our animation so far. It's going well. So we have these 7. So these are 5 frames here. So I think that this animation is like 200 and what 47 frames. But you see how fast we did 5. So okay, I think that I'm gonna hold this for 3 frames because the next pose it's more like doing like it's like a transitional point to what the next frame that I have is. So yep, the next frame that we have to connect is to this one that it is looking at it. It's having a web here, so let's add it. So how do we connect these two? Like you can see a lot of the curvature here, actually, on this setup. But it's okay, I don't care about that. So how do we connect these two frames? Well, there is this reason of why I say these three, because on 215 on the original video, or what it would be 215 of the original Spider-Man video, um, there is this pose that is weird. So we were gonna need 215, 218, to 21, and that would be all, I guess. Yeah. So we need three. We're running out of paper. Like, do I have calculated this perfectly? When I was like, okay, I need probably this number of papers, or no? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, we need to do pieces of paper because we need three. Although we cannot make three, we can only make like what, 7 numbers? I always make this super confused. What is the word for each one on English? I think that even is divisible by 2 and not this, not divisible by 2. So I am going to say divisible by 2 and not divisible by 2 because that's the word that I know. I don't know why I always make them flip. Like it's also like, it's like after and before. Like the only reason that I learned after was because After Effects, the only good thing that Adobe has done. Um, yeah, the only good thing that it did, because it helped me to understand the separ like the difference between, or like to know properly which ones, what's the meaning of after and what is the meaning of before. Because otherwise, like it didn't make sense for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I am also don't know why I have this. Uh, this one. Let's have the other two, but remove that one because there's no reason for it to be there. Little birdie. This got not stray, but it's not the mother or not. I mean, it matters, but I mean, we can fix all the errors in post, and it's not big errors that we have here. It's just like it's not properly straight. It is just something like that. But again, like here's the thing: if I was doing this like the true old way, um, there is no fixing in post, right? But I feel that we can get use of modern technologies even to do all stuff, right? It's not because it's simpler, but like at least you can see how, for example, on this and this one, they are probably not going to be perfect match, and especially with the moving background and all of that. But that allows us that. And something that I have been like, it's the only thing that I have like this, not recitation. No, it's more like the only thing of this method of how am I doing it, right? Because I am grabbing the backgrounds because I still, despite everything, I still want this idea of looking like if it was possible, like even if it's not super one-to-one replica of what it would be, like the original 60s cartoon, like at least is this idea of how to say, like it's the same, like it's, I don't know, like on a style, you can say. So even when there is no, mm, even when there is no, what is the thing that like, I don't know what I even wanna say. Okay, got it. So even when there is no 100% like pure traditional, like I feel that this way of working, even when I am not doing it like the same way as it was done, because let's be real, that would have been more like expensive, because I would need to have these tracebacks on paper as am I doing it. Okay, but then I need to put it on the cells, and the photograph of that is going to be also another thing. So it's more of like I am doing this because I wanna try it, and like you can draw with this digitally, and I don't know how, like I it's different, you know, like because on this one I don't have, besides looking to each other, even if I have like a proper animation uh, table, it wouldn't be too much different of what I can do, at least me personally, especially because at least how I see it, the cake, especially of how I see it. If you do this like in a specific way, like I am not doing it like 100% pure to it, because I am following like modern CG digital animation as reference, right? Like if this was 100% what it is, it would be like the one that I did, that is pure original, because like Spider-Man being attacked by the Kingpin with the katana, because let's be real, that one, it is the most, hmm, how to say, like that one is the most, that leg feels so bad, because I am not having like crazy camera movements, and now here we have the crazy camera movements, but trying to be replicated. I don't know, that would be the case, but it's trying to be at least similar to what we have on the CG version of it. So just by that small fact, it is not the same as it is just by that simple fact that I'm trying to do something that it is CG look this 2D way. Like I could have just simply created probably paint the stuff and projected into a 3D scene, but that would have been a different stuff. Like probably that was the right way. But I wanted to go to this way of let's do simple backgrounds that are static and they do not move more than panning. Like just simple 2D translations. I was like, I don't want more than 2D translations. Like, that is okay for me. Like, 2D translations for me are okay. Like, that is something that I am okay having because I didn't feel the necessity of having like these super 3D sceneries. And like, you will have, even when it's probably just, hmm, what is the word? Even when it's probably just simple translations, like you will notice the stuff. So I mean, I'm gonna see how this looks. If it looks not that good or I'm not able to do it as good, I project the drawings into a 3D scene and make the scene move on the Spider-Man there. But I prefer to not do it. Like I will do that in a bigger stuff, but especially because I wanted to have this idea of simplicity and not complex. Like the idea is to make it look like it is like weird aspect ratio for the era. It's just to have the same aspect ratio, but that style of 2D animation, OG 2D animation, that backgrounds are static, like they are bad. Like if you look the like just simply if we just go to the internet, right? And we'll look Spider-Man of the 60s. Like if we look for example this uh intro of Spider-Man, because that's what I did. Like I'm just gonna describe you. Like the backgrounds are static, there is just zooming in, like a lot of perspective. Like they aren't even watercolors. But even the animation is not that great. Like you can see the low budget of it. Like the backgrounds are very simple, like super, like they're super simple. Like the backgrounds that I have made, even when they are more complex, they are simple. They are more complex than these backgrounds. Like it was very stiff, the animation. That's what I mean. Like this is more different of what it look. So it is also like a little of camera movement, but not a lot of camera movement that am I doing. So like having just like what am I doing is just thinking of what the limitations would have been. Or like what it would be to do this in a more traditional way with modern tools. I think that is the thing, or that is the point here, more than anything else. Okay, so we start with the head as always. But yeah, like if I will do this for another stuff, I would definitely have like, for example, on Dream Reality, if I do one universe that is hand drawing, I will do the backgrounds like I will paint them and I will project them into 3D stuff so we can have like more complex camera movements. Because the backgrounds are the stuff that I am not proud of. The animation I am, the backgrounds not so much. But I just started simple way, and because the camera movements weren't that complex, so it was like there is no necessity for projecting that on 3D scenes, and I don't wanna redo those to project them into 3D scenes. So I'm gonna keep it this way, and even I have one that is bad. Now that I am thinking of, like the second that I did, it was easily solved with projecting it on a 3D scene. But I didn't do that. So now we are on this option of not projecting it. And it's just this limitation that we have now of how can we make this this work, without this stuff. Like what simple camera movements can we have to it's like what simple camera movements can we have to compensate for those complex actions. But it's also like it's not super important that the backgrounds are 100% perfect, like because that also adds a charm to it. Like it's something that you don't understand until you see it like playing. That jankiness is just like, oh, that is something that looks all, even when it is not all. And then this leg goes down here. This leg goes here. This leg goes here. And that should have also the things here. Okay, so this one goes here. There are some frames that they don't look great. But does that I care about that a lot? No, because it's only one frame that doesn't look good, and it's somehow in movement everything. I think that this is whole for more than one frame, so probably it's not going to be perfect. But and again, like this, for example, it's something that is bad because it's growing up. you can see it. But it is allowed to us because of the of how are we doing this. So we are going to do one more frame, go to this one, that is basically the pose. And how much of you the bark you hear, how much of the bark you hear. um Looking between these two, probably the proper size will be something like this. And this is just the whole size of it. So let's just do a small head. And this one we start having the head visible, but not so much. Something like this. Something like this is enough. Mm, we can have this arm here. Yeah, zoom in there. Just zoom in there to see the full detail of this. Something like this. Something like this. Yep, that makes sense. So we have this middle one. So let me just do this. Then we have here our small spider of the back. But on the game is more like pointy down here, but I'm doing it round because it's easier. Mainly because of that, not because any other reason. It's just like that is easier to draw. Let's do this. And like here's the thing, there are two things. There are differences between doing like this frame by frame animation that if you do a CG animation. Because if you do a CG animation, you can have more complex characters, right? Um, because you only need to make those complex characters once. Where you are doing, let's say, like this, the characters cannot be that complex. Because you need to draw this character like every frame. So obviously you don't want to have a character that is so complex because you don't want to draw that every other frame. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have this here, couple of webs. These ones here. And these ones, no, actually, this. So you don't want to have like a complex character on the drawings, right? And I feel that that's something that why Spider Verse is okay to be like trying to represent like a specific art style, like it would be like a traditional art style, right? And still be fluid because you know that it is possible to draw. Like the more complex of Spider-Man is the pattern, right? But you can have like everything on Spider-Man and it will be still like you can have Spider-Man and it doesn't matter because the complexity of him is not that hard, and especially if you're drawing it over and over and over. Like I can tell you, the first time that I draw Spider-Man, it even when I was copying it from the video, it took me a long time. And now just look how I'm flying through these drawings. Because it's like, oh, I know that these are parts that can be easily simplified. I know that this part is just not that complex. We need to make sure that the body is present. Bodies. That will be this one. And I feel 121 and we hold it for 4 frames. We arrive to this one. Let's just arrange them this. You can see how it's here preparing for throwing the web. And Pam throws the web. That is good. Then web throw and start swinging. Probably, let me see how much. There is not much movement, so I can just keep it that way. Okay. Yeah, and with the background moving, this is just going to be good. So we now are in the last stage. From this to this, it is like what, 20 frames? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hold this for 4 frames. That seems like it's another frame. No. I'm gonna have a long hold on this one. So this is going to be 29. There you go. $129. Get over here. La, la, la. So this one is more curved than this one. So I'm gonna have it more curved. Something like this. Something like this looks okay. I'm gonna have this here. Okay, and on these ones you start seeing more of the face. Not a lot. It's just enough for you to understand that that is the face, or that was the head of Spider-Man. Mm, having this weird pose. Mm, okay, so we can have this. Like this. Here is where the other shoulder starts to appearing. Like this. Something that I'm oversimplifying a lot is the hands. Like I am very bad drawing hands. So I'm just having it like this because in the end, like I'm drawing it big, but in the end on the frame they are just like. Uh, so this is the whole frame. Like they are going to be like this small. So half of the actual size that I have right now. So that's why I am having this. That's why I'm also not so worried of how they look. I hope that you don't hear the barking because it's driving me insane. Hope that you don't listen to that. Do this. Okay, like that. Like that. Let me draw the bot. That's the most important part. Like it must have the dumpy. It must have dumpy, spider dumpy. Because that is the most important part of being Spider-Man. Now he one day wake up and it have that big dumpy. That is lore accurate Spider-Man. No matter what you say, that is what happened. Like this. Can have one other leg. Like this. Like this. Okay. Something like this. Dumpy is important. So probably I'm gonna hold that one also for 4 frames. Yep, it's okay. So this is what 129. Um, uh, Probably those. Only two because I wanna have the arm here visible. So that is just this transition to him or to Spider-Man just putting the hand like it's grabbing the web here and it's moving from here to grab the other with the other hand and have more control of his swing. That's what I will justify the two hands swing. I only have one here prepared. It's not gonna be enough. I calculate wrong. I was like, probably I count that everyone was going to be forced. That's why I only bring these papers. But I could be wrong. I could have counted that there were going to be on. I could have counted once. I don't know. Probably I counted on trees and still not enough. Because we need this 31. Then we need this 34. 38. 41, 44. Actually, these are not going to be 47. Or probably it can be. I don't know. Let's. I wanna see. Because I need to put that frame also. So probably it's not going to be even 47. How many I count? I don't know. I think that with 2 pages I should be enough. So what time is it? Is it early? I have only been here an hour. Not even an hour because this is still playing here. Where do you... I remember that... Oh, 56 minutes? I don't know. I don't know, you tell me. That is not the... Here, 58 minutes. Almost an hour. No, that was faster of what I was thinking of. Because I was like, I was... Swear, I honestly say, oh, I'm only gonna arrive to... No, I actually thought that we can finish. That's why I put that it finishing animation question mark, and we did. So I'm gonna leave it over here until here once we finish this, because I usually just after that take photos of everything to see if there is one frame that it feels that is holding too much time, especially on the force. If I split it on two, or if it's okay in those 4 frames. That on my experience, 4 is the maximum that you can have, and it still feel fluid. You know, at least for this sort of action, that super action, that I know that properly I should have probably animate them on once, the action and all of that, but no, like let's just do that. So we have 40. This is 231. Frame 231. So how it looks, it's basically similar to this one, but it's more standing at this point because it's already giving a lot of control over the web. Something like this. We have one hand doing this way, the other one just going this way, super blurry. So now we are going to do this head first. So always start with the head. There are frames that are easy to draw. Like I think that these ones, I feel that the hardest one are the first frames always. When you are trying to see what is going to be the what is the name? When you are trying to figure out what is the keyframes, those are usually the hardest ones. Like even when you have reference, like for me at least, and it's just copying this, right? The reference. Oh, for me it's just those are the complex ones. I'm gonna have this like this, just to to make sure that this is clear, that this moving this thing. So I don't know how much of like on this one we can have the classics. Uh, Probably just a way of this, something like this, super abstract. So the spider that cannot be missing. Like I feel the spider, I always draw it on the same perspective. I don't freaking care. Like it is something that I am noticing that is not what it will look. The spider, because of perspective, but who cares a lot, right? If you care a lot, well, you're probably right, but uh, it's not the end of the war if it's not perspective correct, right? Like come on, you see the Spider-Man animations? They were bad. Like until the 90s, Spider-Man had very bad animation. And until the 90s series, that's what I mean. And this goes up here. Something like this. Yep. Actually, it should be stronger on this side than on the other one. That was my bad. Like on this side should be small, the motion blur. And on this one, I should be like this. So wait a second, I need to say something. Just keep preaching that. Entertain them. Back for my message. Um, you entertain them? Probably a lot more than I do. So we pass from this frame to this frame. Isn't that beautiful? Read properly? I think so. Now 31, 34. So we're gonna hold this for 3 frames. This is going to be 134. And on this one, you can see more spider cake. So we actually can copy this because it's almost the same, at least on the top side, it's almost the same. Just that now it's more over here. The the stuff it's over here. So we have this here. So we have the hand here. Then we have the other frame. Just gonna do this. Hopefully this is enough. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have this, this. These are going to be blue. I mean, the size changes a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's more than what you would have expected is gonna happen. Something like this. I go one leg going down here, like this. Then we have the big dumpy here. Okay, and then we have the leg that I noticed that it just was the same as that one. Okay, then this one goes this way. I'll go over there. Hmm. Something like this. Yep. Really, these ones probably should have a little bit of threading like that. Yeah. Now we go from here, here, and this one is missing the web. Again, the position is something that we fix afterwards. So this 34, we hold it by you can hold it for 4 frames. Because with the movement, it's going to be enough. So let me see again. So we have this, then this one, this one, this one. So 2 pages should be enough. And I know, just double check that this is not going to be 247. It's going to be like 240, 250 probably. We hold the last one for 3 frames. Now again, when I go for 2 pages more. Like you can see me, but this is not the normal angle that I am back. You can go back here. So look at this. Like it's definitely I have not. But this is way better because then I start to use the marker to the word that I'm looking for. Then I start doing the marker stuff which is important, obviously, because the marker it's going to tell me where I have done wrong. Actually, I need to check on this, but I have not much. Need to charge the phone battery, so I'm gonna leave that a little afterwards. That also tells me how many drawings I have done. Uh, I am I'm calculating like 100 drawings, probably less. Like, how much do you think is this? Five worth of drawings, like five? Yeah, it's probably five. And then you know what is the craziest thing of this is that I did not notice when I did so much of them. Like I was doing something and suddenly I was like, oh, there's a lot of those. But yeah, like it's easier to say that than anything else. Let me go back to the frame that I need to draw. We are only 4 frames to finish this. How it feels? It feels awesome. It feels awesome because these 200 frames, it feels infinite. So I feel that what I need to do for the animations that are longer because there are sequences and not only a scene, not only a shot, but it's a sequence of shots. I feel that what I need to do is to divide them into shots so they are like 10 shots or 10 frames, something like that. Because like this is one of the longer scenes, and it was like smartly cut because I mean I can just show you this. Yeah, I can show you this and do the transition. So this is the scene. What am I doing? We minimize it. So I am not doing this one. I'm doing this part since it's here. All of this animation. Now you can see it's a lot of 3D. Like you probably at this point you recognize it. It's going to be cut towards here. Why? Because it's transitions so well. Like it's so fast the movement that you don't see a lot. Like, and if we add some transition element here, it's not going to be bad. Like this one. So it's just something like that. It's super simple. Right, but after that, like the late ones, they are like super, like especially since like the last ones animations when there is with when there's Spider-Man with the Kingpin. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave those mostly because those are like because the video is going to be about the Kingpin, right? The Kingpin and the Spider-Man. So obviously, you need to have the the moment when mm, when Peter is fighting the Kingpin, right? Like, and a lot of that, there is a lot of like after you do the gameplay fight, you have a lot of cinematic of Kingpin and Spider-Man. There is some QTAs, but QTEs, but they are like more cinematic. Like for me, always the quick time events QTE are like cinematics that you interact. You know, like they are just cinematics, like praise cinematics, but they are cinematics after all. Like nonetheless, there is cinematic there. Um, so like in the end, you have those cinematics. How to say it? Those cinematics are like after all for the things that am I doing, they are just cinematics, right? And like it makes sense that they appear on the same level of like all of that ending, after you do the gameplay fight. Like it was for me, like it makes sense that you like for me it was like it makes sense that all of this section it is on the same um tile, mostly because I was like some of these parts is going to be needs to be the like there is a need for a thumbnail there, so I was like I wanna name the video the Kimping, so you need some like the more options I have, because sometimes the drawings are not the best, right? Like you all agree on that. So considering that, um, reframes. So considering that, it is not like the more options, the more drawings that I have. Because for example, this drawing, I like at how it ends up, right? This one not so much. It's just one frame of difference, in 3 frames of difference. You understand, right? Like it's just same similar pose, right? Like one and the other. No, the more Kimping drawings I have, the more possibilities I have to choose which one I enjoy the more. This got very well. Like I wasn't able to distinguish. Like previously, I was able to distinguish which was the cut side by just looking at it, and this one I wasn't able to do that. So on this one, I'm gonna have this same drawing. Um, because the difference on this frame from the previous one is that on this frame, actually that is too high, the arm. I'm gonna put it more low, like this. Like the difference is that on this frame, I think that the head is a little deformed, but that's what happens when you swing too fast. Um, what I was gonna say, yeah. I am losing the track a lot today. Um, that I'm more a hip habit like always, like super similar, mostly because I feel that this is not sharp enough. No. I'm gonna grab another one. But in the end, the pen, the, the marker that I'm using is not super sharp, but that doesn't justify that you can have, because I am not marking everything on the pen, on the marker, and those stuffs or those sections that I do not mark, mm, are not the ones that, like for example, this line I can mark here on the pencil, but I don't have the necessity to mark it on. That I don't have the necessity to do. And I forget what I was saying before that. Oh yeah, that these are like the differences that these just have the legs. Like it closes the legs. You can see it closes the legs. This is 100. Why having 100? They are not 100. They are 200. For how long I have rated 100? This one. Why nobody told me that I was rating 100 when I was at 200? Wait, only that one had the 100. Okay, this one also has the 100. Probably others have also the 100 on them. So this is a 241. Let's hold it by 4. Okay, you go there. Hold this by 4. I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna do it again. So the hands go here. So the head goes here. A little bit like this, okay? Something like this. Something like this. And then we have arms go here. And the hand. And like this. Something like this. Then this hand goes like this. And it goes over here. Let's draw the webs. I've used another name before. I don't know what name I use. Threads. Threading. I think I said threading. This. this. Think that I made it too long. It does not matter. So that's the, the knee. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Something like this. Something like this, and this goes this way. You don't see it, so perfect, because that's done. That's done. So 245. And we hold it by 2. So now we got this from here. Probably if I put it like here, you can see better the motion. And the last frame, I feel that I'm gonna do just a basic between these two. So looking at this, I'm gonna feel that that's a good position actually. So probably I'm gonna turn it more this one. I don't know. Let me see. Something like this, and the other leg goes around here. The arms go up here. Okay, now I think that this okay. So we have the head as always. We start with the head. So head goes here. Hmm. Shoulder. Shoulder. This spike doesn't look good, so I'm gonna just remove it. I'm gonna grab the arm over here. Put this negative space here. Um, like this. Hmm. Here we have this. So now I need to mark this corpse. Those are the most important corpse of Spider-Man. And like if I now download the model, do you notice that I need to basically do legally obligated to, to mark this more? Don't fall yet. I'm just having fun here. A lot of fun actually. These are stuff that the AI bros are missing, like all the fun that you can have. Like, because probably the AI also gives you this shape here, but not the same, bro. Not the same. I need to go to my Spider-Man that I downloaded and increase the the size of the dumpy. Although I think that, I mean, looking at the original model, because I feel that when they uploaded to Sketchfab, like the one that they uploaded, it's just the it's just the version that is. And then we're gonna have this hold by 2. So in the end we have 251. This is the next one. Goes to here. Let's go smooth as butter. Not so smooth as butter. I wanna have a frame here, probably, right? I don't feel that it goes that smooth. But let's just test it that way. Like the only way that you can see if it goes smooth is if you test it. After I don't know how much time I did on this, because I was doing this like 5 minutes a day. We have all of these chunks of animation with Spider-Man. Like if I was good, if I was someone like Iron Blaze, I would be able to do that, but I am not able to do that. Just just trust me that this looks okay. Yeah, I think that the next step is just to grab all of these. I mean, there is a lot of trees and tools. So probably it's like, let's say that there is like tools. Let's say the there is at least 60 pages here, at least, at the minimum. Most likely, like 80 pages. I would say like 70 to 90 pages here. I don't know. Probably more. Like this feels like a notebook. Like a notebook has like 100 pages, alright? This is like almost my thumb width. Like it's not thumb. Like according to the ruler, it is a centimeter thick. A little more, probably. Like if I compress it, it's like a centimeter thick. So I feel that there is like at least 80 pages here. I don't know. Probably there are less. But yeah, that was all. It is amazing. Like we made this. Like I don't know. Probably it's not as good. But I'm gonna do my best to do a good compositing of this. So it's probably going to be needed like cutting or like masking. Like probably masking. It would be the best way to merge it, because looking again at this, like that is a simple mask. Again, that with a mask transition to the other one. So this one transitions to this one. Yeah, I will see how I make this work. But it's gonna work. That's the only thing that I am now. I'm gonna make it work, and it's not going to be worse than the second one. But anyway, this is all. Like, here's the thing, I'm taking too long to do this, but the good thing is that once I finish this episode, I'm gonna have at least 50 episodes more. So I don't know. Let me see if I found my my planner stuff, my spreadsheet where everything is written. Hey, I have 4% of the this done. The whole video. That's nice. Because this increased to 250. Mm, so I don't know how much do we did today. Mm, I don't know how much do we did today, how much frames, but like let's keep on the idea that I have at 30 frames per day. That it will take 2 days to do this. Hmm, like this is 2 days to do. Let's say 3, 4, let's say 5 days on this one. Just have here one. Let's say in 5 days also this one. Let's say also this one is 5 days. Let's say this is 9 days. So this could be 5. Let's say this is 10 days. And let's say this is 4 days. Let's say this is mm, say 15 days on this one. Say 6 days. Say 20 for this one. I'm not being like very. I am very like very like not constant. But that's what I mean. Uh, wait, I don't put the plus here. Where was I? I think on this one, right? Um, this is probably going to be. I'm gonna go crazy on this one. let's say, no, that's more. That is more like 250. Like this. This one, that although ones are not drawing animation, so they should be easier. Hmm, I just noticed there is double cross here. That's why I try to do that. So this one is going to, like, I'm just gonna have the same idea. Oh, 45. Let's go crazy with that one. So those, this is a year. A year for how much? 30? The videos. So 26? Well, let's just leave this here for now. Hmm. I was more time of what I have planned to. This camera here is not that bad. I think so. So I can look at you. Probably I'm gonna see if I put it here. Like, I don't know why I don't place it there. Because I have it there usually. Over there. But here, like, if I don't know. I need to see. I need to think of this. But that will be all for today. I will take a time, see how to do this, check this animation, and then afterwards, I will see you